like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Among all legendary creatures, the dragons have taken their unique place among the pedestals of mythological accounts as well as present-day popular culture. And quite interestingly, dragons, or at least dragon-like creatures, have been symbolic fixtures from numerous regions across the world. In this video, we will be exploring the most powerful and influential dragons from mythology. Stay tuned for number 1 to know about the greatest dragon in Greek lore. Number 10. Amaru. When you think of dragons, you picture beasts with high lusts for destruction. Yes, they might indeed be scary, but not all of them are maleficent. And Amaru is a good definition of that fact. Amaru is a massive two-headed dragon with a snaky body. One of the heads is of a bird, the other a puma, or perhaps a llama as described by people of the Incan mythology. It has 2 wings and a long tail with a stream of lightning. For a dragon, that's quite a beautiful sight. Amaru lives under lakes and rivers, presenting himself as the deity of life and as the link between heaven and earth, as he was believed to hold the sacred medicine of all the lands. It's really no wonder that Amaru was loved by the natives when giving their water in times of drought and healing in times of plague are some of the powers that he prizes. When you think of a mighty dragon with a pure heart, Amaru is the perfect choice. Number 9. Kukulkan. Next up, also known as Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan was worshipped as the great feathered serpent god in the pantheon of Aztecs, Toltecs, and the Mayans. The major divinity seems to have played a multifaceted role while practicing his godly business. To that end, Kukulkan was the god of creation, the sire of both the morning and evening star, the protector of the craftsman, the rainmaker, the windblower, and the firebringer. Interestingly, both the Mayans and the Aztecs were not too keen on solar eclipses, given the sacredness of the sun. As such, their mythic traditions used to depict such rare scenarios, with the earth serpent swallowing the giant Quetzalcoatl. Furthermore, as opposed to their cultural penchant for human sacrifices, Kukulkan was supposedly not fond of such bloodthirsty practices. The ritual of worshipping Quetzalcoatl is still practiced by the indigenous peoples of Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, and El Salvador as a way to connect with their ancient god. Number 8. Three-headed dragon. Zmaj. The snake of the mountains, a three-headed Slavic dragon, is an extremely popular character with dozens of myths and legends surrounding him. There are cartoons about this evil creature and even several monuments scattered throughout Russia. Russia's version of that dragon is called Zmaj, which means snake of the mountains. He usually lives in the mountains or the forest, which are just one word in some Slavic languages. Gornich is the dragon's last name, which is given based on the name of one's father in Russia. According to legends, a Slavic dragon knows how to speak. This weird serpent usually has 3 heads, although sometimes 7 or even 9, and is so enormous that he blocks out the sun when flying. He is terrifying and can spew sparks, smoke, and fire. Zmaj's opponent is usually an epic hero, a Bogatar named Dobrynya Nikitich. According to legend, when Dobrynya hits the dragon the first time, he begs the poor little serpent for mercy. The kind hero then takes mercy and releases him. The dragon almost immediately goes and kidnaps a princess, forcing Dobrynya to fight him again. But this time, it's an epic battle to the death that lasts 3 days and 3 nights. That is one badass dragon, we have to say. Number 7. Mikanawa. Hailing from the Philippine legend, the Mikanawa takes the 7th spot in our list. It's a very massive bird-like fire drake with sword-sharp feathers. Mikanawa is also similar to another Filipino dragon known as Bakanawa. It has a mouth, or should we call it a beak, the size of a lake, eyes as shiny as a mirror, and legs that are as hard as alloy steel. The Mikanawa is a colossal dragon such that it had to live outside the sky, and it could even swallow the sun. No wonder Filipinos believed that it was responsible for the eclipse, and it also had the power to bring rain, wind, and earthquakes. A long time ago, the Mikinawa swallowed the sun but got burnt, so he tried eating the 7 moons that the world had at the time. The ancient villagers became troubled with his actions and went to seek divine help. Unfortunately, the Mikinawa managed to swallow 6 of the moons until one of the divine gods banished him from his home for eternity. Now that is one mighty dragon, Mikinawa. Number 6. Druk. At number 6, we have Druk, more commonly known as the Thunder Dragon. Druk is the national personification of Bhutanese culture, mythology, and monarchy. To that end, the elaborately scaled drake is prominently featured in Bhutan's national flag and national anthem, Druk Sendhen. While the Himalayan nestled nation itself is called Druk Yul in Dzongkya, which translates to the land of Druk, the mythological dragon-inspired scope also extends to personal titles, with the leaders of Bhutan being addressed as Druk Gyalpo, or Thunder Dragon Kings. And if you thought that was stretching things a bit, well, even all the political parties were named Druk Party for a mock election held in 2008. Number 5. Fafnir. Deep within the Icelandic Volsunga saga of the Norse mythology lies a dragon named Fafnir. As legend has it, Fafnir was a mighty and fiery dwarf begotten by King Hremnjar and has 2 brothers, Regan and Otor. Fafnir, owing to his strength and the duty of protecting his father's golden home. However, the story soon changed when the god Loki accidentally killed his brother Otor on a hunting trip and was forced to pay a ransom in return. But Loki, being a sly god, paid them with cursed treasure, which anyone in possession of it is bound to doom. While under the influence of the curse, Fafnir killed his father and carted the treasure away. With his greed and the fear of losing his riches, he transformed into a serpentine dragon with scaly skin, 2 highly clawed upper arms, and with a poisonous breath that ravaged the neighborhood. However, Fafnir retained the ability to speak and had the power to cast illusions that could madden anyone who came near. But luckily, he was later killed by Sigurd, the foster son of Regan. Number 4. Capnolithal. He looked like a regular black drake, but he was concealing his identity as the vampiric smoke drake who could change his form at will. Also known as Brimstone, Capnolithal was able to change into a cloud of embers at will and had a magical color that allowed him to leave his hoard, something vampiric dragons aren't normally able to do. The mage Samaster, who founded the cult of the dragon and created the first dragon lynches, approached Capnolithal to help with his initial experiments. He started by turning Capnolithal into a vampire, but then decided on another course of research and simply discarded the dragon. Eventually, he helped destroy the mage and took over his citadel. Number 3. Kur. The primordial Kur is often considered as the first dragon within the web of vast literary traditions of Samaria. He is described as residing in the void above the Earth's layer and below the primal sea. The monstrous entity is also often related to the Sumerian concept of the underworld, and as such, among its numerous wicked exploits, the dragon once kidnapped the goddess Erishkigal by taking her into his netherworld realm. The rescuing task fell to a hero called Enki, and he successfully slew the mythological dragon, a native which served as a prologue to the renowned Epic of Gilgamesh. Interestingly, the act of slaying a dragon is a common motif repeated in later Babylonian traditions, which might have also found its parallels or expansion in tales in other parts of the world. Number 2. Shenlong Dragon. There are 4 most adored dragons in the Chinese mythology, which are collectively known as the Dragon Kings. Among them are Dilong, the earth dragon in charge of waterways, Tuzanlong, which guards the hidden treasure, Tailong, which secures the heavenly gate, and Shenlong, the spirit dragon. Like all Dragon Kings, Shenlong had 4 legs, a scaly snake-like blue body with horns on its head, clawed feet, prominent infernal eyes, and 2 wings. A good look at Shenlong will give you an impression of solid strength in combo with exceptional magical powers. If you think you've heard of this name somewhere, then you must be a fan of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, Shenlong is actually a mythological dragon, not just an animated one. Shocked? Hold tight because the next one will blow your mind. Typhon was considered the mightiest and deadliest monster in Greek mythology. He was the last son of Ge and Tartarus, created as a last attempt to repel the Olympian gods from defeating the Titans during the Titanomachy. Known as the father of all monsters, Typhon was a fire-breathing dragon who had 100 heads that never slept. After the Titanomachy, Ge wanted to punish Zeus for imprisoning her Titan children in Tartarus. Thus, Typhon was born. Typhon confronted Zeus and managed to repel almost all the Olympian gods and tear out Zeus's tendons in their first battle. Hermes managed to get the tendons back and give them to Zeus, who eventually threw his lightning bolts against Typhon and overwhelmed him. He finally trapped him underneath Mount Etna. Typhon was married to Echidna, who was considered the mother of all monsters. The two of them had a number of children later on. Which one of these dragons did you like the most? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.